Hello, and welcome to the Emotionally Baked Cubed podcast network. And usually when I'm in the kitchen, it is an emotionally baked episode, but I am in the kitchen today with Emotionally Blooming because this is where all the action is happening. And I wanted to take you along with me as we talk about, kind of like it's a heavy subject, but also we're going to see if we can bloom through it and talk about it and kind of work it out today. So we're just going to dive a little deeper on the Blooming podcast section. We dive a little bit deeper into our emotions and what we're feeling. Baking, we talk about it. Blooming, we go dive a little deeper. So here we go. Welcome today. All right, so today's Blooming podcast, we're going to be talking flowers, and mostly I talk about flowers. Usually it's either flowers or garden and stuff, but specifically drying flowers. Now, it's kind of funny that to think about relating drying flowers to our emotions, and we're gonna get through it and we're going to talk it out as we talk about the drying flowering process. So I know it's kind of an odd one and we'll see, but I've been kind of down in the dumps lately. I would say a little bit depressed. I busted my ankle and I would try to lift my boot thing to show you. I don't know, maybe I should post a little bit. No, I busted my ankle getting into my car. I fell off a curb. I was getting too fast running into my car to get in my car, and I fell off a curb and twisted and busted my ankle. And it's just a really bad sprain, but sometimes sprains are worse than breaks. And hopefully I will get better this week. It'll only take, so we shall see. I'm crossing my fingers. But when you're down and out and you are, I think I even mentioned this before, like last time when I was talking about, when I was showing you the baby's breath that I was harvesting in the back, and I was saying how, we were talking about being back and you're coming back from something and it could be an injury. I feel like I spoke too soon because, whoa, it like literally happened this next week. It's crazy. And let's just say I can't wait to bounce back from this, because right now I'm in the dumps of it. So it's kind of actually interesting that we're kind of going backwards in the talking, just like about what I was saying last time about, I think it was like 2 episodes ago, where I was saying, when you're coming back from something and it could be something medical, here you go. And I just can't believe this, like I'm getting the opportunity. But I'm being in this moment. I'm in the medical moment. I'm just currently in it. And it's really kind of stressful because I have so much stuff to do during my week. My kid is in a camp this week, and I have doctor's appointments this week, and it's my right foot, my driving foot. And so I'm having to depend on people. I'm having to depend on my kids, my older kids they do drive, so thank goodness. And so they can drive me around, but they have jobs and they have work to do, and they're taking care of their mom, which is it's so hard, it's so hard to let go of that, just let go of control and just to let somebody take care of you, let your family take care of you and worry about you, especially when you're somebody like me who likes to take care of everybody else. It's hard to be taken care of. And yeah, it's getting me super down in the dumps. And I'm trying really hard not to let it envelop me and take over and take control. But I will tell you, that's difficult because last night after a full day of resting my foot and putting it up and having it iced and having medication and all the things, all I wanted to do was cry. At the end of the day, I was just, my husband, he had been doing like everything. He had been doing the yard work. He'd been taking care of the kids. He'd been doing all the things, getting us food and taking care of me. And I just lost it and just started crying because it just felt so like you're defeated and you're just feeling like, I just felt like I know I need to rest, but it's so hard to, when so much is going on around you and then it's just so overwhelming. And yeah, it is a lot. So why not make a podcast while I'm feeling this way? Honestly, I really honestly do want to be baking because that helps me to kind of regulate my emotions and stuff. But when I bake, except for like when I'm doing a baking podcast, when I bake normally when I am recording or not recording, I'm walking around the kitchen a lot and doing, being very busy. So there wasn't a lot I could think of that I could do while I was just sitting and not wanting to be up, because I was like, I wanted to maybe I'll make cookies or maybe I'll do this. And I was like, I just don't know if I can be on my feet that much. And I got to plan a little bit better. So I was like, well, I can sit and chat about my flowers. So why don't we do that? So we're going to talk about the drying of flowers and how we are going to get through this kind of down in the dumps feeling. Because that is an emotion that is really hard to get over, and it's really hard to get out of. And maybe we can work it out while we're talking about drying flowers. So yeah, I've been drying flowers for a really long time because I love the notion of preserving a memory, preserving something that is special, that had a lot of meaning. And oh, you know what I want to do? Oh, I want to show you something, but I have to find out. I forgot where I hung it up. I don't know where it is at the moment. So when before I got married to my husband 25 years ago, oh my goodness, we're going to be celebrating our 25th anniversary at the end of this month. That's crazy. I don't feel like I've been married 25 years. I don't know where the time's gone. Anyway, I would save like either the corsages or the things that we would give each other during our relationship. I didn't save them. I know I didn't save them all because, as being a young kid, it was like they got lost or whatever. But I do remember when I got married, I wanted to preserve my wedding bouquet. Now, I was intending to do something different with my wedding bouquet, but I got really busy and it was just a lot at the time, and I wasn't knowing what to do. Like I didn't hire anybody to do anything with my wedding bouquet. So I remember being on my honeymoon and calling my mom and saying, hey, can you take my wedding bouquet and just do me a favor and turn it upside down? And I don't know if I told her to hang it or if I just told her to turn it upside down. But I was like, I want to save my flowers and I just don't know how to do it yet. My brain was still working. And when I got back from my honeymoon, I made sure to take my bouquet and how all I knew how to do to preserve and dry it was to hang them upside down and hang it from just to get all the moisture and just make sure they didn't wilt and all the things. So my bouquet ended up drying very well, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't want to just leave it in, how it was. I was toying with it. I just didn't know. And I decided, I was like, I had a very large photo of me and my husband on our wedding day printed with a mat, a very large mat and like a frame. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to take the rose petals from my bouquet, so disassembling it and just covering the mat around our picture. And so while it all worked and it was great and it's cute, I had to find a picture. I have to find it. I don't know where I hung the picture up. While I was in the middle of the process, this has nothing to do with drying the flowers, but while I was in the middle of doing the process of, I had laid it all out on my dining room table and I was fixing and doing all the things. In we were living in a townhouse at the time, and I had all of it laid out. I had the mat and everything, and it was just like, nobody touched this space. And I remember I think I'd gone out and I came back and it was wet. And I was like, there was like water and something. I look up and something like a pipe or something must have, I don't remember what it was, but broke up in our ceiling, and the water was dripping down through the light fixture, and it was like, there was water splotches all over my wedding photo and all the things that I was doing. And I was like, oh my goodness. Luckily, I was able to blot very carefully the wet splotches, and it cleaned up fine. Oh my goodness, I thought I had lost everything, but luckily it turned out okay. So ever since then, I've just wanted to save things. I wanted to save flowers, and I love dried flowers. And I'll show you some things that I've made with the dried flowers. So this is, I didn't make anything with this one, but this is a dried rose bouquet that it's a little dusty, that I preserved from, I believe it was just from an anniversary. And I was really happy with the way all of these roses kept, and even the baby's breath. So I just put it in a vase here at home, and that one is super fun, super fun. All these beautiful roses stayed super intact. Very, very fun. So that was the one, like a bouquet that I got from my husband. Like that was like, yes, I'm going to save that. Then I was like, well, what about saving things that I just grow around the house? Like, yes, that's from the store, and like it dried perfectly fine. But what about things around the house and things that, you know, are growing in my yard? And so I started trying to dry my like hydrangeas, drying my other things that I have. And while that was good in thought, not everything dries, I think, equally. I've always had pretty good luck with roses. If they are still too, you know, they haven't drooped over or anything, I have had pretty good luck drying roses. And that's been pretty good. Now, I tried to dry a hydrangea from my yard. Now, I bought dried hydrangeas it was like at a flea market or something. So I know I have dried hydrangeas around here that look good, but this was my attempt at drying a hydrangea, and it just didn't do as well as, so it kind of like, so you see the buds just kind of curled, and it doesn't really look hydrangea-esque anymore. And yeah, so I do have other hydrangeas here that and this one, I will say, this one probably will not work. So you see this one is already kind of dying in the bouquet. This is still in the water, so I'm tossing that. These, however, they might still work, and they're still bloomed, they're still nice and full, so they might work to dry. I'm gonna try with those and see if I can get something that's a little bit better than this. Now, again, like I have done dried flowers in bouquets, so these were, I don't think gonna be that complicated because this was a very structured flower in the bouquet. But I will say, when I've gotten flowers in the store, not everything has worked. So it does go all different ways. So this, okay, let me show you. I'm gonna try to show you. So this big massiveness up here was from the store, and it dried fine, right? It dried fine, it did really well. But this other one that was from the store, these other ones that were from the store, did not do as great. So I'm going to show you these. So while you can still see that they are, you know, flowers, they didn't dry the best. Now some of these did, like these purple ones stayed really pretty, and these stayed kind of cool, but these didn't really do the best. So I often kind of look towards my past examples, things that have spindly branches like this. I feel like this and baby's breath have worked well. And I don't know if it's because the stem has less moisture in it than others, but you know, roses have thick stems and the hydrangeas have thick stems, but somehow we get them to dry. So there you go. Now I picked the baby's breath that I picked from the last video. I dried two different ways. One of them I dried upside down. And so if you're wondering how to dry flowers, I really can only say I've tried it this way. I haven't ever tried to dry flowers in silica. I've never tried to do that. But I just clear off anything down here at the base of the flower that is in a leaf. If there's leaves, if there's foliage, if there's anything down here. So as you can see, like the hydrangea, I took any leaves off, anything that's below kind of like what I want to save. I usually don't save any of leaf material just because it doesn't dry very well. And then I take whatever cluster I'm going to be drying, and I, not too tight, I loosely bind it with some rubber band. So you can see there's some slack here still. It's not super, super tight. And then my go-to is to just take a paper clip or like a binding clip or anything like that. And I just slip the paper clip gently through the rubber band, and I just hang them around my kitchen on the knobs around my kitchen. And that's usually how I test drying my flowers. Now these again turned out really well. This one, not so well. And I feel like drying flowers is how do I put it? Like a touch and go, kind of like, let's see how it happens type of thing. You know, like, will it work? Will it not work? Now this is interesting. This is a string of orchids that was given to me, a lei that was given to me by my cousin when we went to Hawaii, and it dried really fun. Now this one, I didn't have to do anything. I just hung it on my knob there and just let it dry, do its thing and dry. And I think that there was not as much moisture in this to begin with, just because all of the flower petals were already taken off of their stems so they could dry in a nice fashion. I want to share with you some things that I don't think would dry well. And I don't know what the reason behind my assumption would be, just other than I'm just thinking out loud of kind of, you know, what I've done before. So I'm going to take this bouquet that I have picked from my garden. Now this is I think this is a Cosmo. I am new at this is a gladiolus and this is a lily. I know those. But I don't think that she would dry well, only because, see this stem that's holding her? She is not very strong. You know, she's not very strong. Now this one, this zinnia, I believe, or dahlia, I don't know. I should look it up, but whatever. She might dry well because she has a lot stronger stem and might hold. However, the gladiolus, I don't think would dry because her flowers are super, super sensitive, and yeah, I don't think would dry well at all. So I'm going to take this one out because this is or just break it off. Now, I do have a piece of like these here. See these? They've already kind of dried up and shriveled up. So I'm kind of taking a note from them and going, well, I don't think that they would dry well. So I'm going to take those out. They might have dried okay if I had turned them upside down. So this is one of the dahlias or zinnias. So maybe I could try to dry them and maybe it would turn out well. So I could do that. I could try that. I don't think she would dry well. The lily, no. The lily are very sensitive, drying in the sense of how I'm drying it. So I'm not drying it in silica. I'm not doing that. I'm just drying it on the like hanging it up to dry. So I don't think they would dry well. However, that being said, just took that off because I think I'm going to press this one. Now, drying and pressing flowers are two different stories. I think this would press very well. So I would take this and lay this in a book in my flower press and press it down. And I think it would dry. I think it would be fabulous. And that is another way of preserving flowers. And we're not talking about really preserving flowers, we're talking about drying flowers. So maybe I'll talk about pressed flowers later because I have a lot of those. I have done that as well. I have pressed flowers as well. But drying flowers, I don't think you can go wrong unless you are, totally, banking on like, it'll work, it'll definitely work. Like, I didn't know if this was gonna work. And then when it didn't work, I was like, it's still pretty, and then still kept it. So if you're just open-minded and keep trying and drying whatever you can, I think it's fun. It's fun to just have these special memories just to keep and to hold around and to brighten up your house. Now, I have saved a lot of flowers from different bouquets just to do a little decorating around the house. I will show you a couple of things that I have decorated with at the end, just to kind of show you kind of what I do with the dried flowers. But yes, I wanted to kind of tie in drying the flowers with kind of like feeling down and everything. And I was thinking as I was talking about drying the flowers and everything, how can drying flowers and being down relate to each other? And it kind of came to my mind that like drying flowers is special to me because I am remembering a special moment, a special memory, a special thing. And this might not be directly related to feeling down, but I will say, just talking about that today, or this today, has kind of lifted my spirits a little bit, because I am looking at these memories. I'm looking at, the bouquet that my husband gave me. I don't even know when this one was. I should take a step and write somewhere on it, be like, this bouquet was from da 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 da, which would even give me better memory of what they were for. But just looking back, and I know that he gave these to me, but just looking back on them and just thinking about how this memory of these flowers, just my husband gave these to me. It was either for a celebration or just for anything. I don't know. He could have just given them to me for anything. It's just giving me a little bit of joy in that down in the dumps feeling. And sometimes it's just the small things. It's a small thing like drying a flower that can spark and help to bring back a memory that maybe will get you out of the dumps. And I know that's kind of a silly correlation between drying flowers and like that I'm feeling down today. But honestly, it is really helping. It's helping me feel a little bit better. It's helping me realize that, there's a lot of good, even though I'm feeling like there's not. And to be grateful for all these memories, all these things that are super special and that I deemed special to save, the flowers to save. And even looking back on just this most recent, gift that we got to go on this wonderful trip, that's special. And just to hold that dear and to just, that it'll be okay. You're going to get back to it, Heather. You just gotta take a deep breath, and this is, you might be down right now, but remember all the little things. Remember these special moments, and it'll be okay, and we'll get through it. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to spark more joy into my day by preserving these ones. So I have these hydrangeas, and I'm going to preserve, hopefully. So I'm going to take them out of this. They've been in here for a little bit, and this one I might not be able to because it's a little, looks like, but I'm going to take these and I'm going to remove all these flowers. I'm going to dry off the stems because they were in the water, and I'm just going to take off the leaves and do like what I said. I'm going to bind the ends together in a small little cluster, and then I'm going to tie them up. I got a pink one here. I'm going to tie them up and hang them from my kitchen cabinet. There we go. So I've got a nice little cluster here, and I don't know really the science behind hanging them upside down. Maybe it just is going to release all of the, extra moisture, so it doesn't go towards the flower, or maybe it goes to, I don't know. That's kind of silly. I don't know. I honestly don't know. This one I don't know. It's a little brown. This one looks okay. So we're just gonna dry these. I'm gonna hang it upside down. I'm gonna kind of push them kind of so that they're not touching each other, because I don't want them touching each other as they dry, because maybe that'll affect it. I don't know. And I'm gonna see how these work. So we'll try to dry this set of hydrangeas and see how that comes out. All right, friends. Well, thank you for joining me on the Emotionally Blooming podcast today. I hope you remember, make a memory, or if you have memories with flowers and you want to, just take a moment to savor that and take a second and just dry it up. Dry these, whatever you have. Maybe it's just a bouquet, or maybe it's something from your garden, and just once they're dried, you have that memory attached to it. And there you go. All right, I'm gonna go hang these up and see what I get. Hopefully it won't take too long. All right, friends, have a great one, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.